Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture on solution of Laplace equation using the separation of variable. In this video, we will understand what is a Laplace equation, how it comes from the heat equation, and how to solve it step by step using the separation of variable. We will also connect this mathematics with the real life physical meaning so that everything becomes easy to understand. So let's start with a real life situation. Consider this a metal plate. The edges of this metal plate are maintained at the fixed temperature. For example, on the one side the temperature is a T1, another side it is a T2, third side it is T3 and the fourth side it is T4. Initially the temperature will start flowing inside the plate and also the temperature will keep changing from point to point. But after some times, something important happens. That is, the temperature stops changing with respect to the time. And in that state, we call this condition as steady state, or sometimes we call it as a equilibrium. Steady state means heat is still present, but there is no change in a temperature with respect to time. To describe this equilibrium condition mathematically, we use something called as the Laplace equation. Now let's understand where the Laplace equation comes from. We start from the two-dimensional heat equation, that is del U by del T is equal to alpha square into second order derivative of U with respect to x plus second order derivative of U with respect to y. Here U is depending upon the three variables, that is x, y and t, where x and y based on the coordinate system, t stands for the time and U is basically representing a temperature. Moreover, alpha is a constant called as the thermal diffusivity. Now let's focus on the steady state condition. At the steady state condition, temperature doesn't change with respect to the time. It means del U by del T is equal to 0. Now substitute this back into the heat equation. This equation, that is second order derivative of U with respect to x plus second order derivative of U with respect to y is equal to 0. This equation is called as the Laplace equation. So it is very important to conclude that Laplace equation representing the steady state, or we call it as the equilibrium condition. It is generally used in a heat conduction, electrostats or a fluid flow. Basically, it is describing the system where everything is balanced. Now let's look into the mathematical model. Now we set up our mathematical problem. We consider a rectangular plate. That plate lies in the region where x lies from 0 to a and y lies from 0 to b. This means the length of the plate in a x direction is a and in the direction of y is a b. Inside this plate, the temperature function is represented by u. Now the governing equation, we have this, that is called as the Laplace equation. Further, we have a certain condition on the boundary of this rectangular plate. The first condition is, on this side, let's suppose the temperature is represented by F1. On this side, the value of x is 0. That's why we mention u of 0 with respect to y is equal to F1. On the boundary of this plate, the value of y is fixed, that is b. X is varying. So u of xb is equal to F2 we have assumed here. On this side of plate, x is fixed, that is the value of x is a, but y is varying. Therefore, we write u of ay is equal to F3. On this side of a plate, x is varying, but y is a 0. And on this side plate, we take the temperature F4. So these functions are representing the temperature on the boundaries. So important point is, boundary conditions tell us how the temperature is behaving at the edges. So our final goal in this case is find the temperature distribution of U inside the plate. By combining these two things, that is the equation with the boundary condition, we call it as the boundary value problem. Now let's solve this problem with the help of a separation of variable method. Now we are moving to the main part, that is a solution of a Laplace equation using the separation of variable method. The Laplace equation is written by this form, that is second order derivative of u with respect to x plus second order derivative of u with respect to y is equal to 0. So u is the dependent variable that is depending upon x and y. In the case of separation of variable, to solve any partial differential equation, we assume that solution is written as a product of independent variable. So here we assume that the solution of this Laplace equation is of this form, that is a product of capital X and capital Y, where capital X is a function of small x and capital Y is a function of a small y. Now, as per the requirement, we are going to calculate the partial derivative. So, we need a second order derivative of u with respect to x. It means we need to keep y as a constant. What is the second order derivative of this term? That is the second order derivative of x. Similarly, we can calculate what is the second order derivative of u with respect to y, keeping x as a constant. So, that is second order derivative of y. Now plug these values back into the equation number 1. We will get second order derivative of x into y plus x into second order derivative of y is equal to 0. From here we can do the separation of variable. Take all the terms of x on the left hand side and the terms of y on the right hand side. So this results second order derivative of x divided by x is equal to minus second order derivative of y divided by y. We know this is the function of x and this is the function of y. And we are saying both are equal. This is only possible when this is equal to some constant, let it be a k. Now from here we will get a two ordinary differential equation. Depending upon the k, we are getting three different cases. That is, when k can take a 0, positive, negative, we will discuss all these three cases one by one and we will solve both the ordinary differential equation. Let's consider the first case when k is equal to 0. So first ordinary differential equation we have in terms of x, that is second order derivative of x divided by x is equal to 0. On the other hand, minus second order derivative of y divided by y is equal to 0. Here we have plugged k is equal to 0. So this results second order derivative of x is equal to 0. As it is a function of a x, we can integrate both sides with respect to x. So this results first order derivative of x is equal to integration of 0 is a 0 plus arbitrary constant, let it be a c1. Again integrate with respect to x because we need the value of capital X. So integrating both sides with respect to x again. This results x is equal to c1 into x plus arbitrary constant, let it be a c2. So here we are getting a linear equation. You can cross verify it. Its second order derivative is always 0. The same concept we need to apply here. We can write second order derivative of y is equal to 0. As we are getting a second order derivative is equal to 0 in a previous case and we are getting x is equal to a linear function. According to the same concept, we will get the value of y as a linear function in terms of the y variable. So we can use another constant, let it be a c3 into y plus c4. We have the value of x and y. The general solution we can write, that is a product of these two because we assume the solution is a product of x and y. So we get c1 into x plus c2 multiplied with c3 into y plus c4. So this is the solution we are getting in the first case when k is equal to 0. Now let's consider the case when k is positive. In this case, we assume let k is equal to p square, where p is always real number and the real number square is always positive. So plug k is equal to p square and extract the two ordinary equations, that is second order derivative of x divided by x is equal to p square and another case minus second order derivative of y divided by y is equal to p square. Let's solve the first ordinary differential equation. From here we have second order derivative of x minus p square into x is equal to 0. As it is a homogeneous second order linear differential equation, we can use the concept of operator method to solve it. For that, we can write in the d form, that is a d square into x minus p square into x is equal to 0. Why d square? Because here we have second order derivative of x, where d stands for the derivative with respect to x. Further, we can write the auxiliary equation. For that, we need to replace d by m and x by 1. So this results m square minus p square is equal to 0. Now, what are the auxiliary roots? That is, m is equal to plus minus p. As p is a real number, so here we are getting a real root. In case of real roots, how we are writing the solution? That is written as x is equal to c1 e raised to power root into x plus c2 e raised to power minus p, that is the second root into x. Same concept we need to apply here to find the value of y. Let's first simplify this. We can write minus second order derivative of y minus p square into y is equal to 0. Or we can write second order derivative of y plus p square into y is equal to 0. Now what is the operator form in this case? We have the second order derivative of y. So we can write d square into y plus p square into y is equal to 0. Where d stands here as the derivative with respect to y variable. From here, the auxiliary equation is m square plus p square is equal to 0, where d is replaced by m and y is replaced by 1. Auxiliary root we have in this case as plus minus p iota. So we are getting a complex root for this auxiliary equation. In the case of complex roots, how we are writing the solution? If we have two complex roots in this form, suppose we have capital X, that is depending upon the small x, and we are writing the solution as e raised to power real part into the variable into arbitrary constant cos of imaginary part into the variable plus c2 another constant sine of imaginary part into the variable. According to this, the value of a is 0. So, e raised to power 0 into x or e raised to power 0 into y, because we are dealing with the y variable, that is 1. So, here we need to replace b by p and the variable is a y. So, what is the solution we are getting? That is y is equal to c1 cos of p of y plus c2 sine of p of y. Now, what is the general solution according to this case? That is the product of these two is equal to c1 e raised to power px plus c2 e raised to power minus p of x multiplied with, here we need to take the different constant, let it be a c3 and c4. We cannot use the same constant. So, c3 cos of py plus c4 sine of py. So this is the solution we are getting in the case of second, where we have taken k as a positive. Now consider the case when k is a negative. So consider k is equal to minus p square, where p is a real number and real number square is positive. Here with the negative sign, this quantity is always negative. Substitute k is equal to minus p square and extract the two ordinary differential equations. More simplify the first ordinary equation, we get second order derivative of x plus p square into x is equal to 0. Again, this is the homogeneous differential equation. So we can use the concept of operator method. Here we have taken the derivative of x two times. So we can write d square into x plus p square into x is equal to 0. Auxiliary equation is, that is m square plus p square is equal to 0. This is the auxiliary equation we are getting in this case. Now what are the roots? So the root in this case is m is equal to plus minus p of iota. Remember that here the derivative d is with respect to the x. As again we are getting a complex root, we can write the solution with the help of this, and we are dealing with the variable x, so answer must be in terms of x. On comparison, the value of a is 0 and the value of b is p. So plug a is equal to 0 and b is equal to p. That will give you the solution of x variable is equal to c1 cos of px plus c2 sine of px, because e raised to power 0 into x is always 1. Now consider the next ordinary differential equation. From here we have second order derivative of y minus p square into y is equal to 0. So what is the operator form? That is second order derivative of y written by d square y minus p square into y is equal to 0. And here d stands for the derivative with respect to y. Now what is the auxiliary equation in this case? The auxiliary equation is m square minus p square is equal to 0, replacing d by m and capital Y by 1. This implies the root is equal to plus minus p. And here p we have assumed as a real number. So we are getting two different real numbers. Because of that, we can write y is equal to some constant, let it be a c3, e raised to power first root, let it be a p into variable that is y, plus another constant c4, e raised to power next root that is minus p into variable that is y. As we have x and y, from here we can write the general solution as a product of x into y. So this is how we need to solve the Laplace equation with the help of method of separation of variable. Now let's take quickly recap on the solution of Laplace equation with the help of separation of variables method. We started with the two-dimensional Laplace equation where we have second order derivative of u with respect to x plus second order derivative of u with respect to y is equal to 0. Then we assume that solution can be written as the product of the independent variable function. So we assume it is depending upon x and it is depending upon y. After that, we substitute this solution into the equation and we will get this form. Then we have separated the variable and we are getting this form, which is a function of x only, and here it is a function of y only. And this is only possible to be equal if it is equal to some constant, and we assume this is equal to some constant, let it be a k, which results two different ordinary differential equation. Based on the different values of k, we are getting the different cases and we got these solutions. Here these constants are determined with the help of the boundary condition that we are not dealing in this video. Moreover, you need to remember whenever we have any solution, that is can be written as a linear combination of separate solution after satisfying the boundary condition, and the general solution is represented by this form where this capital AN is obtained with the help of the boundary condition. And this is how we solve the Laplace equation in a rectangular domain without considering the boundary conditions.